Hello everybody and welcome to the week 6 module. The dates are 9/15 to 9/21. Remember, the dates may be different for you. I may be reusing this video. So this week you can look over the agenda and the overview video, which you're watching now, the objectives and the outcomes. We're going to go over Rogerian arguments. There are 4 articles for you to read, which they're built within the Canvas. Read those over and then take this quiz. Notice I don't have the Rogerian quiz under the normal quiz tab because I wanted to keep everything together, so just don't forget that there's a quiz here. I'll remind you in an announcement as well. Then you have these cage bird and mockingbird quizzes to take. I really want to go over the midterm essay, and before I jump into the prompt, I want to let you know that there's 2 articles to read that you can use in the essay, and then there's the 2 videos that you've seen before. And then of course you'll submit your essay here on the 21st when you're finished. And let me scroll down. There's an example of how to oppose and refute. It's the same example that you saw in last week. It's just a review if you really want to look at it again, maybe refresh your memory. This essay you may work with a partner. If you don't have a way of finding a partner, click here. It's a discussion board. You can just put something like, is anybody available? Does somebody want to work with me? I think if you can work in pairs, I think it would be good. Maybe one of you can be the pro, the other can be the con, however you want to do it, but only 2 people. Yes, you may work alone, that's fine. And again, if you do work with a partner, make sure there's no AI usage or translations going on that get picked up. If there is, you're going to get a 0. If your partner does it and you don't know, you're still both getting a 0. So make sure you're somebody that you trust. Okay, let's go into the prompt. The prompt's going to be easy. Last week's discussion board prompt was, who is from a higher social class, Atticus or Mama? You're doing the same prompt, but now you're going to expand it and make it into, or turn it into an actual essay. So in the prompt, you only focused on one factor probably because it was only a paragraph. But now when you're thinking about who's from a higher class, Mama or Atticus, think about the business, the occupation, their race, their sex, their gender, occupation, their age, any factor that you think that you want to use to be pro for Mama or pro for Atticus. That's up to you, but you'll also remember you want to bring in the other side, so make sure you have information on them as well. So again, it's the same. It's the discussion board prompt we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Now you're expanding it into an essay. And let's see, the requirements. This has to be 4 to 7 pages long, 1,000 words. 1,000 words. That does not include the works cited page. You need 7 in-text citations, 2 from each of the novels. So 2 from Mockingbird, 2 from Cage Bird. You can have more if you want. But remember, some students sometimes give too many quotes. Don't do that because, well, you can if you're writing a lot, but some students string together quotes, and that's not writing. The quote should support your work, not the other way around. And then you need 3 in-text citations. You have to use two different sources for the 3 in-text citations here. Maybe you want to take 2 from one video, 1 from the other video. Maybe 1 from one of the articles, 1 from the video, 1 from another video. But use the sources that I give you. Excuse me. And this will be a total of 7 in-text citations. Make sure the MLA is done. Possible format. I want to make sure we're really on the same page here. And you can always send me your thesis in to make sure, because I like to look those over. So you want to say here, if you think Mama is a higher social class, she will be your pro, your first choice, and then Atticus will be your con, the opposing, the second choice. Okay, so let's go through here. Let's look at the essay. Here's how you could set it up. Remember that you had a choice of model A, B, C, or D, essay models and choices. Remember, you went over that last week, and I also have it here again. But this is how I would set mine up. I would regular MLA heading, you have to put the model here. I'm going to choose model A. Title of your essay goes here. Introduction, thesis statement. You must have this in bold. It must be there. I want you to label everything. Then your information, then your thesis statement will be in yellow, highlighted in yellow. Pro argument, if I think Mama is from a higher social class than Atticus. Pro argument, who's my pro? Mama. Mama would be in my pro. Reason number 1, pro, mama. Reason number 2, pro 3, mama. Atticus should not be in these paragraphs because for me, he's my con, he's my opposing. I will only see him in the counter argument. And again, if you want to do 2 pros, 3 pros, 4 pros, you can change the titles here. You can use as many as you need to. And then here, since I chose Model A ends with the counter argument and refuting. And again here, you're going to set it up like this. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. This isn't about Atticus and Mama. This is the one I gave you, the example I gave you about Lee versus Angelou. But remember, introduce, give the topic sentence, give some evidence to support the con, then come back and refute and spin it back to your pro, which in my case would be Mama, and then conclude. And then your last paragraph will be your closing paragraph. And again, if you want to have counter argument and refuting 1, counter argument refuting 2, that's fine. It's up to you how many you need. Now, you may choose Model B, but I'll go over that in a second. So then you were excited. The deadline here is, that should be September 21st. Don't worry about April 20th. Excuse me. All right, and the readings use the 2 novels and use the video sources that I've given you so far. And if you don't label these properly, I won't grade them. You can look at how I deduct points. And I wanted to show you something else. Here's the argument models. You've also seen this last week and the video I made for it. So I chose Model A, thesis, pro, counter. Model B, maybe you think this would suit you better. Maybe you want to start with a counter and then stronger on your pro. And then here, counter, no pro, because what you're doing here is when you counter, you spin it back or you refute back to your pro. So if you have point by point by point by point, that might be a better way of modeling or formatting this essay. Like say, maybe occupation, race, and then let's say, did I say sex? Maybe there's sex. So then here you could go, since Mama's my pro, it would be Atticus. Opposing views may argue that Atticus is of a higher social class because of his sex. Boom, boom, boom. And then maybe the second one, Atticus. Some people or opposing views claim that Atticus is of a higher class because of his occupation. However, refute back to Mama because Mama owns her own store. But okay, and then here some. I said second, and then number 3, probably the clearest one was opposing views may think that Atticus is of a higher social class because of his race, and then refute back to, well, although Mama's black, she owns her own store, she's revered in her community, okay, stuff like that. All right, anyway, these are the models that you can use, and again, your counter paragraphs can look like this in your essay. I want everything labeled, or it can look like this one. Okay, just make sure that it's labeled and it's very clear to me. All right, and let's take a look here. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that you know your essay is going to be a classical argumentation essay or Aristotelian. And here, we're not going to write Rogerian arguments. You can do that maybe in a higher level course. I don't write them. I usually stick to the classical and traditional, and I have a master's in English. So I really want to give you guys the practice with practicality, the things that you'll probably use the most. So again, we're using classical versus Rogerian. Rogerian, I want you to know about it, and that's it. Okay. Take care. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. Bye.